And tonight, thanks to Ajahn Kit, so this is part of a series of the concerts that we have every night. And then tomorrow we still have yet another concert which involves bicycles, motorcycles, and aerobic dances as well as another concert that integrate traditional music but performing in a public space near our school as well. So it's a really mixtures of different kind of things. So please do check out. I've dropped the link to our Facebook so you can see some backlog of our events. So, and thank you for joining us today. And maybe to start with, should I play some sounds?
Yes, that would be great.
And this is, I actually have the composer of this piece sitting with me here, but she's sitting very quietly on the side. I think she will introduce herself a bit later, but let me share with her first, share with you guys first the piece that she's made. One second.
Hello, bố khách. Meow. 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 Meow meow. Meow meow.
So you. So you might see her there, Shamamat. Unmute.
Okay. Hello, my name is Shamamat Galbodi. You can call me Ang Pao. I study at PGVM in Master Degree.
ค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ ไม่ต้องอายไม่เป็นไรค่ะเดี๋ยว
ไม่ได้ยินเสียงอาจารย์
อาจจะมีคนที่มีคำถาม so
ไม่
maybe
ได้ยิ
there
น
will
เสียงอา
be
จารย์คิดยัง
พูดได้
ค่ะได้ค่ะไม่เป็นไรไม่เป็นไรค่ะ
ไม่ได้ยินเสียงอาจารย์
ชอบมากค่ะ เพลงนี้ขออธิบายนิดหน่อยได้ไหมคะ Can you explain a little bit about your piece? It's so great to see it and hear it. And I'll ask you to unmute เดี๋ยวของดเสียงให้เสียง
ค่ะความจริงอันนี้มันเป็นเกี่ยวกับว่าวันสมมุติก็คือความจริงแล้วอัมโปอยากจะถ่ายทอดประสบการณ์เกี่ยวกับเสียงที่มีสถานการณ์จริงแต่เสียงทุกอย่างที่เกิดขึ้นในคลิปเป็นเสียงสมมุติ
So what Shamamat would like to portray and like to express is the sound in our condition of being where we are right now and what's around us and our relationship to what's around us. Does anyone at Rise and Share have some questions? And
แล้วก็ตอนไปเก็บเสียงก็คือไปหาภาพและที่นี้เสียงทุกอย่างก็ลองเก็บเสียงที่คิดว่าน่าจะไปได้กับภาพมาตัดต่อเข้าด้วยกัน
so that how the images and the sounds work together was something she was experimenting with and looking at, and what is the emotional, the resonance, I guess we would say, in that relationship, right? Where are we when we're with that image, and where are we when we're with that sound?
I have a question, which is, were the sounds recorded sounds from just life, or was there any instrumental? Was that because I couldn't tell if it might be an instrument or sounds that you picked up here and there?
It's a live sound อย่างบางเสียงอะค่ะก็อย่างเสียงเรือตอนแรกๆอย่างเงี้ยที่มันจะเป็นเสียงเรือแต่ความจริงแล้วมันไม่ใช่มันเป็นเสียงสว่านใช่แล้วก็มีเสียงนกบางอันที่มันก็ไม่ใช่เสียงนกจริงๆก็คือเป็นทำขึ้นจากปากเองอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
and composed sound, so from birds, so using her own or someone else's bird instead of the natural bird, combined.
She's playing with the ideas of made sounds. That's what to explain. You can hear it something as a bird, but it's actually some other sounds imitating the birds, or some of the machine sound. It's actually another types of machine. So she's playing with the ideas of what is real and what is not real, even in sounds, in what we hear as well.
Yeah, I thought that because
รู้สึกว่างานเนี้ยก็ช่วยทำให้เราฟังเสียงรอบข้างมากขึ้นนะคะเพราะว่าเราต้องหาความเป็นไปได้ของเสียงจากการที่ไปหามาในชีวิตประจำวันไม่ใช่เสียงที่เราตั้งใจสร้างขึ้น
And she's playing around with the ideas of that when she needs to find more sounds, she has to listen more attentively, and in order to understand and hear possibilities within those sounds. So that's why we have to listen more.
Yeah, I thought that was just great. I mean, I was wondering that because it didn't sound real, but it sounded real, but not maybe what we were seeing. There's that little clicky thing when the boat was going across. It was very evocative, more expressive than the real sound would have been, I think. Really nice.
Yeah, คุณชมามาขอบคุณมากค่ะ Thank you so much. It's really exciting. That's great. So for Rise and Share, ก็คนที่ฟังก็เป็นกันเอง we were very informal and we just talk and listen. So if you have any questions, don't feel shy to ask. So I think we'll start with Daniel, Nir, and Ellen. They've been collaborating on some pieces that we've heard some of them before, and I hand it over to you, Daniel and Ellen, to take it away.
Okay, thank you. Can everyone hear me okay? Yes, yes. Oh, good. Okay, well, Ellen and I are frequent collaborators. We've been working together a long time. And we lived just about 12 or 13 blocks from each other in the East Village in New York for years, which made things very convenient. But I live in Washington, D.C. now. I moved here 3 years ago. So it was sort of interesting to see how that would affect my collaborations with composers. And in addition to being a singer, I'm a librettist and a lyricist. But it's refreshing to know that it has not stopped it at all. In fact, I think it's been more concentrated and more invigorated than ever. This is a project that was born way before COVID, even though it seems like something that came out of a pandemic. We had the idea a few years ago about setting songs to the paintings of Hopper, in which we invoke environments and storylines for the people, which all focus around this sort of disenfranchised imagining of American life and isolationism and all those kinds of themes. And so we picked up the project in March with great fervor. When we were distanced, and we're proud to present 2 songs today that are a work in progress. And while I get set up, I'm going to let Ellen talk a little bit more about what we've been doing.
Well, it has been remarkable because when Daniel was living nearby, we did another series. He writes wonderful texts to, in all different kinds of forms. And he had the idea of doing a series of songs to haiku previously, and they were all based on his story of living in New York and what that was all like. So we did a cycle to that, and in that case we were together, and he was living nearby, and we would get together, and he would write the haiku, and I would write some kind of music to each one, and then we'd get together and feel it out and collaborate that way. So when he moved to Washington, it was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? But in fact, we do, thank goodness for virtual reality and for the internet. Thank you, Mr. Internet, because now he's written the haiku, and 2 of these paintings. This one is called New York Movie, and here's you can see the haiku that he's written for that. And then he sent me a bunch of paintings with his haiku, and I've gone through and go like, I feel this one, I'm going to work on this one now. And so I sit and I look at the painting and I look at the haiku and I feel that relationship, which is kind of virtual. I mean, that wasn't there in the first place. The painting is the original. And then I write music that I think will somehow express the words and the painting. Really, the words come out of the painting in a way, I feel, for Daniel, so that it's all one, but of course it's not all one. It's a very mysterious kind of combination, kind of like what we just saw, that the sounds are not really the sounds, but they relate to the pictures and stuff. And so then I work in slave, but it's very fun slavery. I just love doing it, trying to figure out what will be the music and how will that fit with the words, and then how will the words be expressed in some kind of melody. And when I get something that I feel that it's kind of somewhere, I make a recording of the piano accompaniment, trying to imagine how it would be sung, in terms of timing. And I send Daniel the piano accompaniment and the score. And then it's so amazing. He plays it out on some speaker, and he records his voice over my rough piano track, and he sends it back to me. And now I finally can hear something of what I've done and what we've done. And then we meet on FaceTime, and we have a little workshop together discussing what we feel, and it really gets quite specific about this measure or this sequence, or, you know, repeating a word, or should we repeat a different, but it's just been a total blast. And in this time, just like we're connecting, I have never connected with Bangkok ever in my whole life. It's just so thrilling to me to, my husband is a writer and musician, and he's written for someone who lives in Australia. And so every now and then there's a phone call from Australia, and the timeline is the next day. And when I pick up the phone, I say, "Oh, you're calling me from the future." It's very exciting, you know, because it's so far away, but here we are. So here we are on FaceTime, and I put my little phone on the piano because that makes me feel like we're really, you know, more playing together. And it's just been fantastic. And in a time when basically all my live performances and my theater gigs, I do music for theater, all of those canceled. So this has just been, in another way, just such it's so deep and fulfilling and hard, because you want it to be really good, you know, but fun. It's just been great. And all through this web and recording, which is not live, and just fascinating. So that's kind of a summary, I think. Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah, an excellent summary. I mean, it's a project born out of, in many ways, of isolation, about isolation. So what you're going to hear is Ellen's piano accompaniment in the solitude of her studio with, in the East Village, with the occasional New York City bus outside. I think there's a bird here and there, which only adds to the atmosphere. I love it. And hopefully with some dexterity of these very cheap speakers that I have, I'm going to try to simulate us being together and presenting these two songs for you. So what do you think, Kit? Should I go for it? Okay, here we go. Celluloid lovers, she's already seen that show. Time to heal old wounds. Time to heal old wounds. Celluloid lovers, lovers, lovers. She's already seen that show. Oh, time to heal old wounds. Wounds, time to heal, time to heal. Oh, celluloid lovers, lovers. She's already seen that show. Time to heal. Time to heal. Time to heal old wounds. Time From the dark jungle, the dark, dark jungle, the lonely find each other. From the dark jungle, the dark, dark jungle, the lonely find each other to wait out the night, to wait out the night, to from the dark jungle, the dark, dark jungle, the lonely find each other to wait out the night, to wait out the night. Wait out the night, from the dark jungle, the lonely wait out the night.
Wow, Daniel, can you ever sing? Holy mackerel.
Bravo, brava.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Wow. It's so funny because when you play with someone in person, obviously you guys all know, you coordinate with each other. So poor Daniel has to guess how long my rubato is going to be for him to come in, whereas ordinarily I would just be listening to him and, you know, feel him breathe and go with him. So, but wow.
Which is actually a really interesting thing about virtual collaborations is that it changes the way you listen. And it changes, it I think more defines what the intuition of the person is making the recording or the person on the other end. It sharpens that to a great degree. And I think that is helping our collaboration musically because, you know, Ellen's music, what's wonderful about it is there are places where you can stretch and play, and then there are places that are very strict and sound better if they're right together and right on and very crisp. So it helps that we have a relationship with each other where we know each other very well. So we can kind of intuitively, I think, play on where those moments are.
I was so intrigued by and haunted by the way you were able to cycle the haiku so that there's always another color, there's always another texture. Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Lovely.
Some of them
you.
will be shorter songs. Nighthawks is a biggie because it's by far the most famous, one of the most iconic American paintings. So we sort of feel now that we've crossed over Kilimanjaro and we're on our way down by having. But Nighthawks was one that we did not want to be too swift. You know, with a haiku, there's a tendency to, you know, you can repeat the text or you can have a 30-second or 40-second song, which some of our previous compositions are. So it'll be interesting to see in the mix how some of them turn into more sort of cantata type of feels, cantata aria type of feel, to use a legit framework, and how some of them are just very brief, almost fleeting thoughts. So.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just going to say the paintings have a stillness and an intensity that kind of make you not want to leave them too fast. They just, there's so much in them. That painting, the New York movie painting, is so unbelievable with the screen over there. You see the movie going on, and she's seen it. I mean, I love Daniel. Seen all that happy ending or tragic ending, whatever it is in the movie.
Yeah.
Can't be in that kind of thought in 12 for an hour, you know, while the movie drones on that she's already seen, you know, so many times.
Right.
So it's very, very interesting working like that.
Right.
Well, I'm looking forward to more. We all are. It's such a
you.
great evolution.
Thank you.
And thank you
Thank
for the
you.
opportunity
Thank
to
you.
present them
Yes.
today.
Oh my
too.
gosh.
Thank you
It's
so
our,
much.
Boy, it's our honor. Thanks so much.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I think it's on. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to tell you, I really enjoyed it very much. I think it's a beautiful idea. The repeating of the words was wonderful because it was never the same. And as Kit pointed out, the moods, you saw the ideas from different angles and heard them from different angles. I really liked it. I don't understand how you were able to do it though, because it's been my experience that for ensemble playing, there's a delay in Zoom. And how did you deal with the delay? Is it a problem at all?
I'm singing to a recording that Ellen sent me, to a digital recording.
Oh, okay. Because if you were trying to perform live over Zoom, it wouldn't work, right? Okay.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Okay. I want to make sure that things hadn't changed since last time I checked. Thank you.
How I wish they had. But
Yes,
no.
well, I guess you can do it. No, I've never seen it done.
Well, we're working on it. Everybody's looking for different platforms and possibilities for collaboration live streaming.
Yeah.
It's-
It is really, we've seen things where orchestras play from their home and they're coordinated. But that must
Because
be
they're on tracks. They're playing to tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what
Thanks.
Daniel was doing. He was singing to
All
a
building them.
track.
What?
Daniel was singing to a track that I had
Right.
pre-recorded.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be coordinated. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Reality is still the same,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Thank you. both
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellen, for joining.
Thank you, Kit. Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Yeah.
So I would like to introduce everybody to Charisse. Baldoria, and Sharice, I'm gonna hand over your piece and everything that you'll share with us.
Okay, thank you.
Great to have you.
May I ask Daniel a question first?
Oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely.
So, first of all, I thought the piece and performance were very evocative. My house was built in 1940, and I really felt transported in more ways than one. So, thank you. So, Daniel, I'm trying to figure out how you sang to the track. Did you use a software?
No, it is. I am I am far too IT unfriendly for that. I literally just am playing it on iTunes, and I'll just show you. I have some little speakers set up here that are playing this.
Mic quality is very good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I have one of those little blue snowflake things that plug into a USB. Yeah, I do a lot of remote. Thanks. I do a lot of remote teaching voice students, and so what I've tried to incorporate here is the sound of the piano and my singing sort of coming at you at the same time. So, no, I wish it was more fancy like a software, but.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you so much. I'm very honored to be here and happy to share my performance with you. So, the piece I'll be playing is called Gamelan. And it was written by a man named Leopold Godowsky.
Could you please turn up, make yourself louder?
Yes, I'll speak into my mic first for now. Do you hear me better now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So Leopold Godowsky was a Polish Jewish American pianist who was inspired by gamelan. And I am now going to play it for you. So I feel like there's a lot of levels of translation in many ways. So he went around Asia, including Southeast Asia, Indonesia, the Philippines, back in 1923. And he traveled around Java and was influenced and inspired by gamelan and Javanese culture. So this is his interpretation of that from 1923, and you'll hear a lot of romantic qualities and also some modern, as modern as 1923 could be for a romantically inclined pianist. So this is one of the pieces of the suite, and here it is.
Great. And if I could just remind everybody to mute, put their microphones on mute, that'd be great. Thank you.
Are you able to hear? Thank you.
Jeez, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
I guess so in many ways it's personal for me because, you know, as a Filipino, so I grew up in the Philippines. I was born and grew up in the Philippines, stayed there until undergrad, and then moved to the United States for grad school and just stayed on. I always wondered why I was playing the piano instead of some Philippine indigenous musical instrument. But at the same time, I did not grow up with Filipino indigenous instruments. So, you know, I had a piano when I was 4 and I loved it. I was just totally enthralled by it. And I love Western music, still do. But in some ways, I was interested in combining both in different ways. And this is one of the ways. So, exploring music inspired by Southeast Asia.
That's great. And this, Godowsky wrote that suite, right? The Java suite. That this is a part of.
Yes, yes.
And that was
Please
nice.
say the name. Please say the name of the composer slowly.
Leopold Godowsky.
Godowsky. Okay, now
Yes,
I remember it now. Thank you.
That's great. And Charisse, if we want to hear you play the whole suite, I think you have a YouTube performance.
Yes,
right?
I have been performing it. A lot of my recent performances were canceled, unfortunately, but I have a live recording of some of these. So I believe I posted a New York performance for the first half of the show, but I didn't get to the second half yet. I haven't posted it yet, but you can see it on my YouTube channel. So youtube.com/Charisse Baldoria.
Great. And
and I'll be recording it. I plan to record it over our 2-month-long winter break. Maybe on this piano, we'll see. So we'll see how it goes.
Charisse, I have a question for Charisse.
Yes.
This sounds like the sound world to me is almost like it could be Debussy or Ravel or something like that too. And I'm wondering if there's French-inspired music by the same type of instruments.
Oh. Yeah. So Debussy was largely inspired by the gamelan, and he has, his gamelan influences are all over the place, and specifically in certain pieces like pagodas, and Ravel as well. So you will hear a lot of that. So there's, aside from the pentatonic sonorities, you also have the multi-layered or stratified texture that is very common in gamelan music that you will hear in Godowsky as well as in Debussy and Ravel. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Questions for Charisse?
Well, this is something a little silly. I loved your playing. It was beautiful, and it's beautiful to see your playing, to see your arms and your hands. And it's just it's so yummy, you know.
Thank you.
I just in a funny side note is I took piano lessons for a few years from a wonderful teacher in California, and he said, I knew the name Godowsky because he said that some other pianist, when he gave a concert, screwed something up, you know, made some kind of a mistake, and then he turned to the audience and said, "That's the way Godowsky would play it. Now the way I would play it." So I can't help thinking of that when I hear his name. But that was just beautiful music, just wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great, fantastic. More soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charisse. I want to invite Tom to move to some singing again. That'd be great.
My mic is on. I'm unmuted. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, and then we'll all turn our mics off right now. So
Okay. Well, we didn't actually do a sound check, but if I sing at normal volume, this should probably be fine, right? Kit mentioned after the last couple of things I did in this series of events that the a cappella voice was something she found very moving. And I have a collection of a bunch of them, and I thought of one that I thought would be very appropriate for the times we're in. And it has a little story behind it. It's what I choose to call an Appalachian spiritual. At the time that it was transcribed, they called it a white spiritual. I had to figure out a politically correct way to describe it. So it's an Appalachian spiritual because it comes from Appalachian area, from a community who's a Christian community whose one of their beliefs was that they did not allow musical instruments at their services, but they loved singing. And they believed that they were divinely inspired to spontaneously invent the music, the songs that they sang. They came, therefore, from their own feelings and their own experiences. It's hard for me to really believe that this one I'm going to sing for you was not perhaps spontaneously composed and then brought into the church. I can't imagine it being done without some preparation. It's the reason we have it is that I believe in the 30s, a woman musicologist whose name I never knew. I got this from a colleague, and I don't know who did the work, but transcribed this piece. She was traveling around and she attended the service and transcribed the piece. And it was sung by a woman whose husband had just passed away in a mining accident. It's called Come Sing to Me of Heaven. Come sing to me of heaven when I am called to die. Sing songs of holy ecstasy to waft my soul on high. When the last moment comes, let one sweet song begin. Let music cheer me last on earth and greet me first in heaven. Sing to me of heaven when I am called to die. Sing songs of holy ecstasy to waft my soul on high. Thank you. It's short and sweet. Okay. Thanks for listening.
Sorry, Tom. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. So, and particularly moving for now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's all in the back of our minds, I think, all the time.
Yeah.
How contingent our existence is.
Indeed. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? Anyone?
There's just, in America, there's a big tradition of a cappella music. I was tempted to do another one, but I thought let one stand on its own. The Shakers had the same religious view that they did not allow instruments in their churches. So And,
Yeah.
maybe next time I do it, I'll put a little shaker group together because it's an astounding thing. Their leader, Mother Ann, came to America. When they came, they had no music, and within a few years, they had a big book of music that they had made, including, of course, the famous "Gift to Be Simple," but many, many others were extremely beautiful. Anyway,
Tom, I have a question.
sure.
I wonder if you've ever, lately I've been getting into listening to a lot of American fishing songs and whaling songs, which is really fascinating because it's sort of a lost, not a lot of it has been documented once the railroad was built. That's kind of life disappeared. But a lot of those songs are based on folk tunes turned into sort of 6/8 or 9/8 melodies that sort of go with the pulling of the rope or whatever they're doing on the ship. And I'm just wondering if you've ever come across this tune as like a fishing song or whaling song.
This particular tune?
Yeah, just curious. It sounds like it would lend itself well.
But unlike you, I have not heard them yet. I need to go look up whaling songs and listen to them. You informed me of something I was unaware of. Where would I find them?
There's a couple publications that are out. I'll actually send you the one that I've been looking at most recently that they've been able to salvage these tunes. Yeah.
That's nice. Unfortunately, I can't answer your question because I know nothing about it.
I'm just intrigued by this process of how they cross over from one, Appalachia to the ocean or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this sounds like an English, British Isles kind of melody, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that
that's where those people came from too. They were all immigrants from the British Isles, people in Appalachia. In fact, they claim that their accent is closer to the way they spoke at Shakespeare's time.
That's right. Yeah, I read that.
I've heard that too.
Somebody said a hillbilly Romeo and Juliet.
I'm sure somebody has. Many
authentically. Would give you an idea of how.
That was very beautiful, though. Thank you.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just thinking, years ago, I went to a memorial for a wonderful composer, and he had so many people in the memorial played different kinds of music, string quartet, and there was I think a Ravel piece with one vocalist and 10 cellos or something. I don't know. The whole thing was fantastic. And the very, very last person was a British guy, a folk singer, and he sang a cappella a folk song, and it just tore me to pieces. I'm sure other people too. That just the sincerity and the depth of one human being is so powerful. Singing a beautiful melody. That was lovely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So Ellen, with that in mind, I'd love to segue and invite Karen to join us with a similar depth of a cappella. Oh, Karen, can you turn on your speaker?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Great.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going I enjoyed everybody. I truly have, and especially to Daniel and Ellen, and is that her name, Ellen? I am going to the words of the song that you all sing. It's so personal. It's just so amazing. I just love it. I love it. And it's nothing like having good songs that can also encourage you, which has also encouraged me. And what I'm going to sing this morning, just a little bit of something that I sing just for me. Okay, let me see. What I have may not be much in the eyes of someone else. It may be limited, but human frailty. And no, it cannot be compared to what you've given me. But all that I have, I give it back to thee. No glory in my name, no praises do I claim, for what I am is all because of you. And no, it cannot be compared to what you've given me. But all that I have, I give it back to thee. I give you my feet so I can walk in your ways. I give you my mind so you can speak and tell me what to say. I give you my heart so you can fill it with your love. And to you I give my soul to dwell with you above. I'll give you all that I have. To some may not be much, but that it is. I give it back to thee. Oh, I give you my feet so I can walk in your ways. I'll give you my mind so you can speak and tell me what to say. I give you my heart so you can fill it with your love. To you I give my soul to dwell with you above. I'll give you all that I have. To some may not be much, but that it is. I'll give it back to thee. But that it is. I'll give it back. I'll give it back to thee. But that it is. I'll give it back to thee.
Wow.
I am going to learn Ellen and Daniel's song.
That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh,
Thank you.
wow, Karen.
I will send you the score the instant that you want it. That was gorgeous what you just sang. Beautiful.
Oh, I am
Universal.
just, I'm still feasting over you and Daniel. I just am. You know, we always get a chance to sing in front of audiences, in front of conferences, but I like now just singing for me in my quiet time.
I really responded to that. I really respond to the idea of just taking some time to sing a song for yourself, you know, because that's one of the pitfalls I find of so many hours teaching to a computer screen is I find it more exhausting than teaching in real life because I feel like I'm trying to exert my enthusiasm through the camera, and that gets really tiring. And so it is nice to just sit back and do something for ourselves. Absolutely. Beautiful.
Thank you. So I hope to hear more from you too.
We will. We'll call, absolutely. But Karen, also, just every time every time there's this amazing connection that you have with, and your description of how singing is with you every day in your life, and you know, you've said before, I sing when I go to the metro, I sing when I go to work, I sing when I'm at work. The fact that singing, you know, for some of us that don't sing and are shy to sing, it's a wonderful world to
Mm-hmm.
imagine that, you know, and it's
Yeah.
actually inspired me on my COVID walks to just sing as I
Mm-hmm.
walk and not, you know, to be more involved in it. It's great. It's so inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have to encourage yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, it's like she plays the piano. She's amazing. All you are amazing. You have to sometimes just do it for you to help get you through the day or whatever challenges we may be facing. It helps you to do what you need to do for you.
Absolutely. It was so wonderful. Um, so I just want to invite any of our Thai guests who have any questions maybe for Karen. อาจารย์เดี๋ยวมีคำถามไหมคะ
No, actually, some of my students here, they really like, and she really likes the way how music can pass through voice. And the idea is that you can sing for yourself, as Daniel mentioned earlier. It's really important to be able to just not only sing for other people, but to sing for yourself. That's a wonderful idea.
Wow.
Thanks for the all
Thank you.
beautiful 3 songs. That's wonderful. Thank you.
So incredible.
Thank you.
Karen, thanks so much.
Karen, I really enjoyed your performance, and I've heard you before, and I enjoyed that too. Can you tell me more about your piece that you just sang?
It's in my quiet time, in my prayer time with God. I'm saying that some people, because you may not have money, so sometimes people can push you away because you don't fit into a certain crowd, but unto God, it doesn't matter because he loves us all equally. And the fact that,
Did you write it?
hmm?
Did you write it?
Say it again.
you
Did I
write
write
it
it? No, I didn't write it. I have a dear friend who does some writing for me. Sometimes I'm able to pull it out if I'm doing a conference. It's just like I can work on 6 or 7 songs for a conference, and I can get up there in front of all these people, and it'll just change because of my prayer time. My prayer time with God. He'll, let me know, don't sing this, but you need to sing that. And that's what's going to bless the people. I look at it, if it blesses me, then it'll bless the people. But if it doesn't bless me, then it can't bless the people. And I live it. So what I'm saying, Lord, you have my heart. I walk in you. The fruit of the Spirit is in me. So it's not like I'm just on stage and then I'm off stage and then I kind of do what I want to do. It's my life. It's my lifestyle. So I wake up with songs in my heart. I can wake up and come across somebody that needs to share, that needs to talk. I can give them encouraging words, but I also can give them a song. I can just give them, like one, but I'll give you my feet so I can walk in your ways. I'll give you my mind. I can just go there. I can start in the middle because that's my lifestyle with him. And I just love, just like being here with you all, I'm learning so much. And it's so humbling, and it just keeps me humble. And regardless of what's going on, I trust God that he has my back and he's gonna take care of me. So everything I do is unto him, because without him, I am nothing. Without him, I can do nothing. Just like you bless me with your piano player. You're just amazing, so anointed. And then to look at you and to see, I think if it wasn't for the COVID, I wouldn't probably never get a chance to hear you. And think about you. So I'm so honored, very honored.
Thank you.
So that's about the song. It's about service. It's my commitment to God. That's what it's all about. It's personal.
So inspiring. Thank you so much. So I know our Thai guests, it's getting very late for them. So I'm going to ask Nimyo Aung to join us with our last sharing. Nimyo, we can't see you. Can
Yes.
you kind of introduce yourself and what you're going to play?
Hi,
Where are
I'm
Where are you
at school,
right now?
Gitame. I'm at our school, Gitame Music Institute. So I will play a song called Saint Chu Chanyo, kind of a song which is based on poem, and it was composed by Princess Lang Te Kong Tin. And so I will play the version of famous pianist Wu Yinwei.
So Nimyo is playing for us from Myanmar. And if we can mute again. Nimyo, we're going to mute and then you can start. That'd be great. Nimyo, we can't see you.
Bravo!
Yay, bravo.
That was amazing.
Fantastic.
Nimyo,
Loved it.
知路未有？人哋判嚟吧，我幫你。Take me to
Can you see me?
Hobby, Yavi.
Yes.
Congratulations. This is wonderful. Can you
Amazing.
can you tell us a little bit about Sandhya, Myanmar piano?
Yes, the Sandhya, what we call the Burmese stand for Western piano. We got it from like Italian in Goryeo Dynasty way before like 1885, and after that Burmese traditional musicians adapted this instrument and localized it into Burmese style. So at first they play by using two fingers, like they used two mallets on xylophone or like two hands on drum circle. So, and then later they developed 10 fingers, but most of the time they use 6 finger mostly, and also use different kinds of tone combinations to interpret Burmese traditional music. This piece was composed over 200 years ago by a well-known female composer. So I learned this similar version before I learned this one. And later, I got a chance to meet a great pianist, Wu Yinwei, who is also Ajahn Kit Yan's teacher. So he played 2 different versions of this piece here at Guitar Make Music Institute. I was really thrilled by that version and trying to listen it again and again and trying to practice. And then a few days ago, I went to that pianist and I played his version of this song, and he was very excited, and he now accepted me as one of his students. So it's such a
great.
exciting.
Yeah. So one of the problems we've had over the many years of being in our music school and starting different ideas, exploring different paths, is that so many people want to play Western classical or Western jazz or Western pop music, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and we embrace that also. But what is sad to us is that the willingness or the patience to learn Burmese traditional music is very low among mostly middle class learners. And I think I experienced this also in Thailand, as Ajahn Anotai and other Thai friends attest to. But the encouraging thing is, in Thailand, the more that Thai classical music was a part of movies, was a background track to things that are very popular. Some of the instruments, some of the Thai musicians incorporated pop styles with Thai music in several bands over the last 30 years. Younger kids were beginning to learn again. There was a cycle back, or there is now a bit more, much more than in the old days, to Thai traditional music and singing. So what we're hoping is that by promoting traditional music in Myanmar, and also having outsiders come and play and participate and develop a culture of listening patience and listening interest and curiosity, that hopefully younger generations of Burmese will open up to this as a possibility for their artistic and creative development and evolution. So I'm so grateful to Naimyo for being the dean of Guitar Make Music Institute and for keeping to his Sandhya exploration and development. He's really done a great job. So more for you, Namyo. It's great. Fantastic. So I want to thank everyone who's come to listen and everyone who's come to play. I'm so delighted that our Thai friends can participate. And Adan, if you have another piece, do you want to, I'll just hand over everything to you right now. It's yours.
We actually have Ajahn Anand with us. I can see that he's appearing quietly. Would you like to say some words, Ajahn Anand Nakhong ka?
Great. อาจารย์ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
Is he appearing?
There he is.
ครับeveryone
ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
yeah the site is not very good but I just keep losing yeah I listen a little bit and saturation even the signal is not really that flow.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yes. How are you?
Let's see. It froze. Yeah, it froze.
Oh my God.
Okay, now we can hear you, but it's a little. Can you say something?
Hello.
Yes. A little, yeah.
It's okay, ka. In that case, would you like us to share another piece of music, maybe from Bangkok?
Yes.
Okay. And we have actually again another kind of like a video piece done by one of our students. Sadly, she's not here with us at this hour, but there's something that she's kind of have a piece telling us stories of during the COVID time and how a life within her family sounded like. So let me share it to her now. She's actually graduated from the Faculty of Arts, but she's majoring in sound art. So please have a look at her work.
Great. If we could mute everybody. Mute ourselves.
Let me share it properly from my side with the computer sounds. Okay. Here it comes.
Ok, après je vais vous reprendre. J'ai une question.
Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien tous les feuilles.
On se parle.
On se parle. Les plantes, ça c'est joli. Et ça fait joli.
Et
c'est
juste pour parler, on se parle. Comme ça, il y a. Mais au lieu de mettre, de répéter, bah, je ne sais pas. Parce qu'il n'y a pas de retour, moi j'imagine. ça fait revivre les plantes, c'est joli. Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les feuilles, tout ça. Ok, ok, après je vais vous reprendre. J'ai une question. Ça fait revivre les plantes, c'est joli. Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les feuilles, tout ça. Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les feuilles, tout ça. Ça fait revivre les plantes, c'est joli. Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les feuilles, tout ça. Ça fait revivre les plantes, c'est joli. Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les feuilles, tout ça. Ça fait revivre les plantes, c'est joli. Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les feuilles, tout ça. Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les Et ça fait joli, ça fait du bien, tous les feuilles, tout ça.
Okay, so that piece is called The Five Members, Sounds of Family Relationship. So that's draw on the ideas of everyday object and the lifestyle within the family and what kind of sounds that the relationship between each person. So that's one of our students' work.
Anotai,
Really nice.
fantastic. Can you tell us the composer's name?
She's called Prat Nampet. I will write it down for you.
Yeah, and if you could just, she's not here right now, just
She's not
convey
here
how
right now, yeah.
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful her piece is. And
Very wonderful.
Okay, I will write it down. That's her name, and I think we are actually looking forward to see more of her works for the coming years. Prat Nampet. Yes. She's also a violinist as well. She's not only doing an artwork, but she's also playing classical instruments but at the same time finding new ways of expressing her story through the use of found sound, basically.
Yeah.
And finding rhythm within those every actions in life. So that's
I like the video too.
so that's one of the examples, and possibly something a bit more easy listening. Would you like to hear?
Sure.
Maybe something a bit more easy listening and maybe so wait for me for a second.
I actually found that very easy listening.
Me too.
And you know what's amazing is there's a technique in writing that's called found text, where you sort of choose a text that is seemingly benign or banal and then combine it with other found texts and it creates something, a totally new atmosphere. And that's what I got out of that, but in the sound world. Really amazing.
Good. Nice.
Yeah. She'd love to hear those kind of techniques. Please let us know. I think it's really wonderful. Thank you. Yeah.
I also found it very interesting how the instruments started playing one at a time and then together and then creating some like harmonies and like counterpoint and rhythm. It was very interesting.
Yeah, and the way that when that instrumental display came, she put it in 3/4 of the way in. It was so wonderful because then the same gestures, the mixing of textures was exactly that, but we have these stereotypes about music doing that alone, but she was able to combine both visual and all of these found sounds, like what Daniel was saying, the banality of what we think as normal sound all of a sudden becomes so special. It's great.
I wonder what you think of it.
Yeah.
I feel will think of it when we listen to it. We have to see if.
So Adan, I just want to thank you so much. This has been fantastic, and I hope we can do something like this again, maybe outside of the festival, but with your students and with more Princess Kalyani Vatana Music Institute, back and forth with the Rise and Share.
Definitely, I think
that'd be fantastic. And I guess Adan Anand wasn't able to get his sound going. Next time we'll do that. So everyone, again, thank you so much for joining tonight. And I'll try to schedule one in September, but it may be early October. I'm not sure yet. And I'll certainly let you know. And just, health to everyone in the month coming up, and sanity as well. So
keep strong.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ajahn Kit. Thank you so much for hosting this, and it's a really wonderful opportunity for all of us. And let us know whenever.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and everyone who joined today who hadn't been here before, welcome, and we'll add you to the growing list of participants, both listeners and performers. So. So thank you everyone สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์
สวัสดีค่ะ ขอบพระคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุณ
Thank
ค่ะ
you
ค่ะ
Thank you.
Good day Thank you สวัสดีค่ะ